pleasant summer Friday to you here at Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. We have lapsed into summer, and it feels like it. It's 96, but a beautiful night for the races. Skies are nice and clear. We're fast and firm. That's Rodney Nelson. I'm Jim Byers. Thanks a lot for looking in and for joining us tonight. We got some good competitive races tonight. I'm trying to beat several morning line favorites on today's card. Tomorrow, we've got a dozen live races, the Texas Turf, the Lone Star Turf Festival, and the Dollar Day, and then back that up with 10 races, including a couple of Arabian contests on Sunday, so it's going to be a big weekend.
Yeah, big, busy weekend. Dollar Day tomorrow, like you said, Dollar Miller Lite, Dollar Hot Dogs, admission programs, and the list goes on and on. So break some 20s, come on out here with a bunch of dollar bills tomorrow, and it's going to be a good time with the Summer Turf Festival races, including my favorite one, the $125,000 chicken fried steaks.
Yeah. Great name and a really good race. Let's get on to analyzing today's action. We've got 8 races for you. We've got a carryover in the Jackpot Super High 5 at the end of the card. We'll tell you about that as we go, but it's on the screen right now. $2,967 will be added to whatever's wagered tonight in that bet in the last race. Race 1, Scratch the One, down Periscope, 1 mile. These are maiden 12-5 claimers. It scratches down to a field of 6. I think the 6 here, Pashandoro, is going to be a really heavy favorite. Down Periscope, in my eyes, was possibly the toughest competition, at least along with Cochan, but now with Down Periscope out, I mean, that makes Pashandoro even a heavier choice.
Yeah, and why not Pashandoro? I mean, this horse has taken a huge drop. I mean, coming out of those maiden special weights on the West Coast, in here for 12-5 today. I think it's going to do nothing but help out this horse. Robertino Diodoro, the trainer, Giovanni Franco, they team up for a lot of wins out here. I mean, Pashandoro, if you see the horse says 7th, in those last 3 races. So, never really got up there to contend in those races. It was always toward the back. So, yeah. The class relief has got to help out Pashandoro here. That's why I got the horse on top. Second choice is going to be number 5, and that's Cochin. This horse has been out here at Lone Star Park 5 different times. Hadn't hit the board any of those 5 times. The last time this horse caught a fast, dry track at the 1 mile distance was back at Remington Park in November. Got to go back a ways, but hey, the horse hit the board. Finished 3rd in that race. And then I got number 7, Carl Erskine. Carl Erskine as my 3rd choice here. This is another horse that had to move from the West Coast. Had 1 start here back on the 19th of June in for the $7,500 tag in a maiden claiming race. Ran 4th in that one, but it was on a muddy track, so getting back to the dry track tonight. Yeah. We'll see what happens with the 7. I got it 6-5-7 here in the opener.
Yeah, both Carl Erskine and Pashandoro are California breds. And in the case of Carl Erskine, named after one of the legendary Boys of Summer Brooklyn Dodgers of the 50s. He is getting back to a mile, which he's only run a mile 1 time. Last time out, he sprinted, as Rodney mentioned, on a muddy sealed track. He was a long shot. He put blinkers back on. He didn't run a whole lot, but he just kind of moved up evenly, kind of ran around there evenly after a slow start. He's eligible to improve today. The 5, Cochan, he's had a lot of chances and just has never done much with it. He gets a drop today. That should help him. But with Pashandoro, he's mainly been a turfer out at Santa Anita. He's a Cal bred. And like Rodney said, he was with a different barn out there. He hardly got out of his own way. He was just sort of in the mid-pack all the way around, if not farther back than that. A change of scenery will probably help. He's been running against Calbred maiden special weights. He gets into an open 12-5 maiden claimer here. I would say that's probably a considerable drop. Plus, he's been 50 to 80 to 1 in some of his races. Yeah. So he really hasn't been seen as having much of a chance. But in this spot, he'll be a pretty short price and justifiably so. Not sure he'll be the best bet to win, but definitely the most likely winner in that field. On to race 2. This one has a horse that's liable to be a pretty heavy favorite that you and Rick are picking. I'm picking against Eagle Vision, but this is a 5/8 mile turf sprint, Texas bred maiden fillies for $20,000. Eagle Vision has gotten pretty good since they started this mare turf sprinting last year. She hasn't been out in a while, but, you know, her A race might win, probably will win, but I'm going to try to beat her.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, she's been off for a while. Beginning of October in 25 is the last time we saw this mare out on the track. That was at Remington Park, but you can see this horse has been on the turf 5 different times, has finished in the money in 3 of those 5 starts. You know, Lawson has done all right for the distance without picking up that win. But you know, one thing that I liked about Eagle Vision was the last couple of workouts. I mean, the horse has been working fairly well. Looks like she's going to be ready to get back to the track today. So go ahead and give me the 9 on top. Number 3, Chargin' Lucky. That's going to be my second choice. Had a solid second last time out. Was sprinting, went 5 furlongs. They wanted to have this horse on the grass. That race was taken off the grass, so now it gets back to the turf today, where they wanted to run Chargin' Lucky. So we'll see if this is a good spot. And then I got the 2 Purely Dialed In as my third choice here. I mean, a lot to be desired from that last race. Was beaten by 35 1/4 lengths, but still didn't even finish last in that race.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
But the race before that, I mean, looks like the best race of her career. I mean, a solid second, missed by a head in that one. Pretty much led it from gate all the way almost to the wire. Was going 5 furlongs of that one, and if I know anything about the horses that J.R. Caldwell sends out, he sends out a lot of them with speed early on. So if Purely Dialed In can get out there and catch that lead like she did 2 starts back, who knows? Maybe she'll be hard to catch in this one. But I got it 9, 3, and 2 for race 2.
Yeah, Purely Dialed In even last time broke best and had a narrow lead at the first point of call in that 7 furlong race before dropping back pretty dramatically and winding up the track. I'm reaching a little bit here. On the Beyer scale, I'm reaching a lot because Eagle Vision does dominate pretty hard on the Beyer scale. You can get those numbers in daily racing form. But Sleepy Rose, the 7, is going to be my pick. Her sire, Sleepy Eyes Todd, was not a turfer at all. He was a really good dirt horse. Patio Prado, though, the sire of Sleepy Eyes Todd, was a turfer. And Defend the Rose, the dam of Sleepy Rose, won twice on turf, twice on dirt, was a minor stakes winner. She was okay. But the thing I like about Sleepy Rose is I was going to try to, when she ran on June 6th, I picked her. And that race was taken off the turf. Eagle Vision was in that race, and I was trying to beat Eagle Vision that day too, so I figured I'd stay consistent and pick Sleepy Rose again. But Eagle Vision scratched out of that race and scratched out of her race. Scratched out of that June 6th race. And so I thought, I was going to try to beat her that day. I'll try to beat her again. The thing I like about Defend the Rose is she was bent down to 7-2 last time off 2 really bad races at Houston. She showed better speed, showed an improvement, and I have a feeling that maybe getting to the turf will help her. She actually had a tiny narrow lead for a second in the upper stretch and then flattened. I think she might hold better today, so I'm going to give her a shot. It's not my most authoritative pick, but I think she's got a shot in there. May end up looking foolish lately, but, you got to take a chance once in a while. On to the third. $5,000 condition-claiming fillies and mares. These are for non-winners of 4 lifetime or non-winners of 2 this year. They're going 6.5 furlongs. $5,000 is the tag.
Well, so let's take a look at number 5, Nang Singha. Is that how you say it?
I usually say Nang Singha.
Nang Singha.
I'm kind of making that up, but that's what sounds better.
Well, when I'm in doubt, I just go by the number. So number 5, top choice here. Last time out, this horse was in a starter optional claiming race. Didn't do too hot in that one. Ran 6 of 6, beaten by 11 1/4. But if you look at the body of work before that, you can see that this horse had a win 2 starts back, almost picked up a win 3 starts back, just missing by a neck. Those 2 races I just mentioned came out here over our course. Both of them going 6.5 furlongs, just like we're going to go in this one tonight. I think it's a pretty solid play for Nang Singha as my top choice here. Number 6, Double Barrel Vinny. I love this horse. This horse has been out the Lone Star 6 different times and has finished in the exacta in 5 of those 6 races. Last time out, I bet against, I bet against Double Barrel Vinny in that race last time out, and he won it. He caught me in that one. The race before that, I bet on him, and he got beat. So that's just how it is sometimes. But Double Barrel Vinny, this horse always seems to get up there and finish in the mix. You can see this horse has come from behind a few times, like in that last race, to pick up the win. And then you can see this horse has been in front other times to be up there for a good finish. So I'll have Double Barrel Vinny in my top 3 here. And then I took Avalon Girl, the 3 horse, as my 3rd selection. You take a look. This horse won 3 out of the last 4 races. The most recent one at 6 furlongs here on the 13th of June. Ran 3rd in that one. It was a pretty decent run, but I like how the horse put together back-to-back wins earlier this year. We'll see if Avalon Girl can't get back at it, but, had a nice workout back in May. So it had some good races since then, so I think there's a lot to like about the 3. I think this is going to be a pretty competitive race here.
Yeah. The thing about Avalon Girl that I like is, okay, last time at a tiny tick higher, but basically a similar bunch than this. Ran just a very even race. Ran 3rd out of 7. Didn't do a whole lot. Passed a couple of maybe tiring ones. But everybody's going to have an off day occasionally. She had won, like you say, the 3 races before that. Was very sharp. So she's had a couple of weeks off. And if she gets back to even 90% of that sharpness she had before, she could definitely win. The only reason I didn't use Double Barrel Vinny, who always gives a hard try and a good account of herself, is she's a 3-year-old taking on older, which she's done before and done successfully. But I think this bunch is a little tougher than the non-winners of 3 bunch she faced last time. That being said, she is quick early and loves to get up in the action and is usually there at the finish. But I'm going with Nang Singha as well. Before we focus too hard on that last race, which wasn't very good for her. She also, it's not noted here, but she really missed the start in that race. It indicates that she broke last, but it was a poor break last. I would have indicated the trouble myself if I were doing the chart, but she's one that likes to be at least in the forward front, if not like right in front, but in the forward group, and she wasn't in that last race. So that was a pretty good excuse. On to the 3rd. The 4th, I'm sorry. On to the 4th. We just did the 3rd. Race 4 starts the pick 5. 5/8 on the turf. You can be in for 10,000 here, or you could have started for 5,000 or less last year or this. Scratch the main track only runner who was claimed last weekend, by the way, so she wouldn't have run, or he wouldn't have run anyway. Regardless, Ring Seeker, the 10, is out. That leaves 9 of them to go.
Yeah, I ended up on Classic Moment. That's the number 7 horse, 5-2 on the morning line for Classic Moment. This horse had a stellar race last time out. That was in a ratings handicap. Led it from all the way from the beginning. Ended up the margin of victory kept getting longer as she crossed the finish line, or he crossed the finish line. Yeah, looked good the longer the race got. I like it. This horse is going over the turf today. This horse does have a couple 5-furlong turf races, and has done all right in those. Picked up a win in one of those races, picked up a second in a turf race as well. So not so bad at all there. I like that the horse has 4 wins out here at Lone Star Park, 3 wins from 5 tries at the distance. I think there's a lot to like about Classic Moment here. I took the number 5, Ormine, as my second selection. This horse has put together back-to-back runner-up finishes, was a winner before that. All 3 of those races that I mentioned came right here at Lone Star Park. So this horse is switching over to the grass as well. Doesn't have a win on that grass, but, has a pretty good record here at Lone Star Park. It's finished in the money in 7 of 8 at this 5-furlong distance. So I think there's something to like about Ormine, especially if you get some odds of like 10-1, like the morning lines indicates. And then I got number 6, Gabara, as my 3rd choice. I think this horse could be interesting here in this spot. You can see this horse has a lot of turf experience, 16 races for Gabara on the grass. Now, the horse is 0 for 6 out here at Lone Star Park, which gives me a kind of a question mark. But if you take a look, I mean, this horse has been running in some decent races, had some decent finishes. What I like is this horse has come from behind a few times to get up there toward the front. I mean, I figure Classic Moment's going to get out there and try to run them all in the front the whole way around. So maybe it gives Gabara something to run at. Who knows? Kind of a question mark here, but I like the combination of Karen Jacks and Stuart Elliott together. I didn't look up their jockey trainer win percentage, but I bet it's pretty decent
high.
out here.
Yeah, the form has them in 25 and 26, has them combining 26 times. They've won 31% of the time.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So that's a third of, a third of 24 would be, 8? So they probably have 8 or 9 wins together in limited tries.
All right, so tonight could be another one. Who knows with Gabara? But like I said, if this horse likes to run at that pace, I think this one could be dangerous coming down the stretch of this sprint race. Give me 7-5-6 here in race 4.
I think this is a really competitive race. Now, that being said, if Classic Moment runs just like he did last time, or if he sits a little off the pace and rallies like he did on the turf here April 25th, those are 2 really strong races. He might be gone. I mean, he might be the winner. I'm going to try to beat him, though, just because I don't know if he can match that last race from June 11th. That was a really good effort. It wasn't his best buyer because he's put up some huge buyers over the course of his good career. But I'm going to think that maybe there's a little regression just off that superlative performance last time. Plus, even though he's won on the turf and he's shown a fondness for it here even, I think he might be a teeny bit better on the dirt. But nonetheless, I'm going to try taking a horse that I normally don't pick, and that's the 2 That's Right. Like Gabara, a Carl Moore management-owned, Karen Jacks trained, but That's Right a year ago would have inhaled these horses, and I don't normally take horses who last year at Ellis Park were running 90 buyers and now they're running 60s. Like, what happened to them? But in this case, he's taken the blinkers off. When they put blinkers on him here earlier this meet, it seemed to sap all of his speed, which is counterintuitive. Normally, blinkers speed a horse up. This guy used to be a speedball, and he's a really good turf sprinter, but he seems to have gone the wrong way. But he's made $476,000. He's run against some really good ones. The last couple starts here, stayed in for half, initialized. Let's Go Mark was only beaten ahead in the Chamberlain Bridge, and I'm picking him tomorrow in one of the turf stakes here in an upset. So he's dropping. Hopefully he'll wake up a little. Maybe the blinkers off will help him. I'm going to try That's Right in the 4th. 5th race. Start of the pick 4. Race 5 is at 3/4 of a mile. It has a field of 7. It's a non-winners of 4 claimer, which is interesting. $7,500 the tag. Non-winners of 4 is an interesting level. We see a lot of non-2, non-3s, but it's interesting to see this bunch. These all have 3 wins in their careers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dr. Soulfire. That's number 3. This horse picked up a win 3 starts back. That was that 3rd win of his career. The horse did it at Oaklawn Park in for the $22,000 tag that day. It's in here for $7,500 tonight, so a pretty decent drop there. Last 2 races have been in condition claimers right here at Lone Star Park. Ran 3rd in both of them. You take a look. This horse for the past 2 years, hasn't been off the board. Has hit the board on all 8 of his starts in the last couple years. The horse has a pretty good record at the distance as well, finishing in the money in 5 of 8. I think Dr. Soulfire is going to be the one to beat here in race 5. Run for Kidder, that's the number 5 horse. That's going to be my second choice. Last time out, this horse had a pretty good run, being right out there in the front. That was at Santa Anita back in May. Finished 3rd in that race, only beaten by 2 lengths in a 6-horse field. You can see there, before that, this horse has hit the board in some races, although they were short fields out there in California. See, this horse was in some 1,000-yard races. I like those.
Are the 1,000 yards showing up in your...
Yeah, I got the 1,000-yarders right here.
I've got them in mind, too.
And the interesting thing, I know we'll talk quarter horses maybe. Look at the claim by. Claim by the Quarter Horse Company from first home thoroughbred. So
Yeah.
no horse claimed a thoroughbred. Interesting there.
It is interesting.
But run for Kidder. Just wanted to point that out. And then number 7, Flotation Station. That's going to be my third choice. This horse does have a win over our track. Has 5 third-place finishes as well. So that's 6 of 8 in the money right here at Lone Star Park. This horse has put together back-to-back third-place finishes. All of them coming right here on our track this meet. So I'll take Flotation Station for a third-place finish once again here.
Yeah, I mean he loves to pick up checks, and Rick has him as a top pick here in this spot. He's run against some good ones. I mean, the last 2 races where he ran third, the winner came back to win their next race. So those were some good groups of older guys. I'm gonna go with Dr. Soulfire as well. I mean, in 2 of the last 3 races, he obliterated Buyer Par. The Buyer Par figure is an estimate for what they think a horse will need to run numerically to win this race. They think a 64 Buyer figure would win this race. He's run 72 and 74 in 2 of his last 3 races. In between, he still beat the Buyer Par. He just didn't obliterate it. That's a pretty good sign that a horse has this field over a barrel. But there's a lot of, Rocket Sanders, an Arkansas bred, puts blinkers on. He has a shot. You know, your run for Kidder comes from a really good barn. It's a really fast blowout here earlier this week and has been in those super quick short races out west. 6 hoof, 7 hoof is a first-time gelding. Wanted to mention that. Shea Whiz, you know, he had a lot of traffic trouble last time. It gets stuck with the rail again. So that's a good contentious race. On to the 6th. Race 6 is a 5-furlong turf sprint. These are Texas bred allowance horses. First level allowance. This was a field of 9, but it scratched down to 6 horses with the 3. Transom Bay out, the 4 Special Memory scratched, and the 8 Warriors Code all out.
Yeah, you know, this race right here, we got a battle of 2 horses, I think. Both of them ran in the Ring to Bell Stakes last time out. That's number 9, my top choice, One More Time. This horse was the 4th place finisher in that Ring to Bell Stakes. Before that, this horse had back-to-back wins, back-to-back runner-up finishes before that. I got One More Time on top. Number 6, Unbridled Bling, also coming out of that same stakes race. This was a 6th place finisher. Crossed the finish line first. Before that, ended up being placed 2nd by the stewards. Came real close 3 starts back to picking up a win as well after leading it most of the way down the racetrack. Just caught and ended up 3rd in that one by a neck. I think 9, 6 are going to be the ones to watch here. And then I got Our Pack, the number 1 horse, as my 3rd choice. I mean, this one's coming in here fresh off a win. You know, I love horses that do that. Won that race by 3 lengths at 5 furlongs. I'm going to go over to the turf, where this horse does have a turf win as well. That's the number 1, Our Pack. I got it 9-6-1 for race 6.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I kind of think this 9 and 6 dominate also, but Our Pact is definitely one, considering how sharp he is right now, and the fact that he has done the turf before and won it. Another one to keep in mind, if the favorites falter, is Heat 'em Up, number 7, big morning line number. Now, that'll come down because we've got 3 scratches that, you know, those horses not being in the field will depress the odds on some of the others, but Heat 'em Up just had a really, you know, awful performance, ran dead last time, but that was in an allowance company as well, fresh off a maiden win. He had been really sharp prior to that, and what I like about Heat 'em Up is he puts blinkers on. He's trying turf for the first time. He's going to be a square price, and he's got really quick works coming into this, so he's fast, so he should be in contention early. Don't know if he's this good. I like One More Time because he ran a really nice race against really nice stakes horses. Silver Assassin right now is razor sharp. And Unbridled Bling, to me, his form cycle's kind of gone down just a little bit. I mean, had that good 3rd here early in the meet. Then in that race on May 17th, Silver Assassin was trying to come up inside of him, and he came over on him very late. Cut him off completely and got DQ'd, and then Unbridled Bling just really hardly showed up in that stakes race. I'm just afraid his form might be going the wrong way, but we'll find out tonight. Race 7. This is a ratings handicap, the new Equibase rating system in effect here. You have to have had a numerical rating between 40 and 60 to be entered in this one. 6.5 furlongs, and these are all older horses.
The Flying Drummer, number 4, that's going to be my top choice. I mean, the horse was in a starter optional claiming last time out. Finished second in that one, missed by a head. It was a pretty close race. I like that the horse is going from a route to a sprint today. We'll see what happens with Flying Drummer. I think this is a good one here. Number 2, City of Angels is going to be my second choice. Last couple starter races weren't the best, but before that, this horse put together back-to-back wins, including one of these ratings handicap races that was from 60 to 45. This one's from 60 to 40. I'd guess City of Angels can have another pretty decent run in this race. And then number 3, Unload. That's going to be my third choice. Last time out was beaten by 15.5. Let's toss that race. Before that, this horse picked up a couple wins in the third and the 3 before that, including a win by 6 3/4 lengths back in March. I'll take Unload here in race 7.
Yeah, a little story about Unload, the Steve Asmussen trainee. He's by Gunrunner out of a mare named Untapped. Untapped happens to be a full sister to Untappable, who was a champion. If you weren't following racing about 12 years ago, she was a monster. She was one of a select number of fillies that won the Kentucky Oaks and the Breeders' Cup Distaff in the same year. Beat older fillies and mares in the fall in the Distaff. 2 of the recent fillies that have done that were Monomoy Girl and Torpedo Anna just a couple of years ago. So you're in select company. But anyway, Unload is out of a full sister to Untappable, and is a full brother in blood, as they say, to Dymatic, who just ran the other day and has earned about $750,000, and hopefully someday he'll be a stallion somewhere. Dymatic's had a really nice career. Well, Dymatic is a full brother in blood. He's also by Gunrunner, and his mom is a full sister to Untappable also. Right. So they have the same grandparents. I love that concept. Their mares, their dams were sisters. The sires were the same. So it's the same bloodline. Anyway, I'm picking Gunflash, who's also a gun runner. I think Gunflash will like the drop. I think this horse, had a very lackluster hot spring season and has been a little sparing on the wins lately. But is 7 for 34 lifetime, has earned a lot of money, was just running very evenly at Hot Springs, but has had some time off, training well for Tristan Ashford, who's been having a really good season. I'm going to hope for a little bit of a price. I think Flying Drummer is going to take tremendous money off that last race, where he looked absolutely beaten in the upper stretch and fought back really hard. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he comes out here today and runs very, very well. He dueled really hard. Flying Drummer's that horse that back in 2021 was running against a champion in Corniche out in Southern California. Corniche was the champion 2-year-old that year, and this horse ran against him in the American Pharoah, a grade 1 race when he was a maiden for Baffert. He's not that good anymore, but he certainly ran a nice race here June 6th. Still in all, I'm going to try to beat him. I was in a contrary mood when I handicapped because I'm trying to beat a lot of favorites today. 8th race, mile on turf to wrap it up. Carryover is 2,967 in the high 5. Scratch the 10, secured. That leaves a field of 9. Older fillies and mares, you can be in for $12,500 as a claiming tag, or started for $7,500 or less the last couple of years.
I'm going to go with number 8, Maddie and Lizzie's Honor. I like this horse knows how to get to the finish line first. Last time out, won the race by a nose. Has put together, 4 out of the last 5 races this horse has won. Had one kind of slip up 2 starts back, but, finished toward the back, beaten by 13 lengths in that one, so we can toss that race out. All the other ones puts this horse right up toward the front. Has 2 wins from 4 tries on grass. Has a win out here as well. Give me Maddie and Lizzie's Honor on top here in the nightcap. I got number 9 Handed Over as my second choice. Back-to-back wins for this Asmussen trainee. Last time out, picked up that win on the turf course. That one was going 7.5, so just a little bit further here for the 1 mile distance, but I did like that horse won by 2 lengths in that one in a field of 10. And then I got number 6, Missing You Crazy, as my third choice here. Mindy Willis, Stuart Elliott. I like it when they team up for horses on the grass. Seems like I could always catch a nice flyer there. 6-1 morning line on this one. I mean, this horse was third last time out, going the 1 mile distance. Has a lot of turf experience, 22 starts, 3 wins from those 22 starts, a handful of seconds and thirds as well on the grass. Horse has done well out here over our track, too. So I wouldn't count out Missing You Crazy to finish up there in some of those exotic tickets. 8, 9, and 6, how I see race 8.
All right, so you are on the 8, Maddie and Lizzie's Honor. I am on the 5, Church Pew. That's the morning line favorite in here. It's one of the more conventional picks that I have today. Church Pew was scratched on the 11th from a tougher race. Was going to make her Lone Star debut there. She ran middle of last month at LAD over in Bossier City at Louisiana Downs and faced She Sky's the Limit, the Karen Jacks trainee owned by Carl R. Moore Management, who's won 17 career races, a bunch of them here. But and the runner-up in that race, Roar of Silence, is a 6-time winner. And Church Pew ran a nice race there. She ran a super race at Turf Paradise the one before that. I would think if she runs well at Turf Paradise and LAD, she should like this course. I think this course is kind of firm, like LAD's might be. And I'm just, she has a run here. We'll see how she likes it. But she likes the turf for sure. She's won all of her 4 career races on the lawn. And I'm going to take her as a shorter price favorite here. Over Your Filly, Handed Over. And Morning Miracle is intriguing to me because I mentioned I don't think there's a whole lot of early speed here. Morning Miracle, a long shot from Asmussen's barn. And Steve has another one in here, right?
Yeah, he's got the 9.
Yeah, Handed Over. Well, he's also got Morning Miracle in here, and she could lead a while. I think she's got the best speed in here. Comes off a nice race at Louisiana Downs against Lesser. So we'll see how the pace shapes up. That's it. 34 minutes to post for the first. Is Dave here today?
Dave is here.
Dave will be in the paddock. Dave Appleton. Rodney and I will be hanging out probably in the air conditioning. But nonetheless, Dollar Day tomorrow. $1 admission, Lone Star Today programs, hot dog, popcorn, Pepsi, Miller Lights. If I missed anything, a lot of things are $1 tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of dollar items tomorrow. And I'm going to be selling hot dogs and beer out here in the paddock, too, tomorrow. So I got my TABC certification so I can sling some beers and sodas and hot dogs. I'm looking so much forward to this.
All right.
I think it's going to be fun. So if you're coming out tomorrow, stop by and see me. Maybe I'll give you a good pick. If not, I'll sell you a hot dog for $1. How's that?
You can't beat that. All right, thanks a lot for looking in, and enjoy your Friday here at Lone Star Park. In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park